This is the Rock City Showcase.
Hey everybody, it's Matt and thanks for checking me out today. So before we give you updates on our brewing process, here is our beer of the day. It is from the Southern Tier Brewing Company. It's a Mango Crush Session Sour Ale. It's not strong, it's relatively low. It's a 4.0 ABV, but it certainly is a great summery beer. Nice clean taste, crisp. Very light, delicious, got a little bit of that mango taste to it. It's very good. What I'm going to try to do going forward, at least monthly, maybe even more often if I can, is sample a beer on this channel. That way you can see all the amazing beers that are out there. We'll do local and we'll do things from out of town. I just want to, every beer that I can think of that is available, I will try to sample. I actually joined a group called Beer Drop, and they're going to send me a random 4-pack monthly. So we'll have a variety of different beers coming at all times. So that's going to be great. I want to do that. That's something I want to share with everyone. That way you can just, it's something to see if you have an interest in any of these beers, you have the option to try them out yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and update you on our brewing process. So this is the Mr. Beer Kit, and this is our little plastic keg here that we have the beer brewing in. So after we open the box, there's a bunch of stuff in there. There is a can that helps make the wort. It's a can of hops and malt. It's like a liquidy, it's almost like a molasses type thing in there. There's a packet of yeast that comes with that. There's carbonation pellets that we'll use later in this process. And there's also a cleaning solution that's in there so you can sanitize everything. And I had friends that told me that the most important step in this process is sanitation. Because if you don't properly sanitize, that can affect the outcome of what you brew. It can have bacterias come in there and mess with the fermentation of the beer. So we made sure that we properly sanitized everything. We sanitized all of our tools, our can opener, our measuring spoons, whisks. All that stuff was all sanitized. We sanitized the keg, of course, the top, the inside, all of it. All of it was sanitized. So the process actually was not very complicated. So what we did pretty much, up to this point at least, is we took that can of wort, or that can of, I guess it's not wort yet. Wort is going to be what's made with the water, but it's the malt and the hops, and we took the label off. We put that in a pot of like warm water to kind of soften it up a little bit. And then we started boiling some water. Once the water came to a boil, we put the mixture, the solution in the can, into the pot. And then we mixed that solution in the pot. And once it was a nice, even texture, we knew it was pretty much ready. At that point, you have to take it off the heat too. First it's on the heat, then you take it off the heat, then you mix the water and the solution. Once that was in there, we actually put some water into the keg. Up into this, there's a marks here. There's a 1 mark and there's a 2 mark here. So you fill up the keg with water. It's got to be cold water. They suggest refrigerated water. And hopefully distilled, or if you have one of those Brita pitchers or filters, that's also better. It's better than, you can use tap water, but it just suggests that you use like the filtered water. So we fill that up to the 1 level, and then we pour our mixture of what's now the wort. We pour that in on top of the water. All right. And then after that, we mix all together. And then after that, we pour water in again until you reach the 2. So it's the 1 level, then the mixture, then you mix it in there, then you add a little more water until you get to the 2. You mix all that up together. So now that once that's all mixed together, you take your packet of yeast and you sprinkle the yeast inside of the keg. You don't mix the yeast, you just put it on there. So that was in the instructions, that you don't mix the yeast. You just sprinkle the yeast in there, and then you seal the keg tightly as you can without breaking it or anything. And then you want to store the keg in a nice, cool, dry place. I believe it's suggested anywhere between 65 and 76 is where you want to keep it. You don't want to go too cold or too warm. That way you don't mess with the fermentation process. So we did this approximately 4 days ago. So it recommends anywhere between 10 to 14 days, or even up to 21 days. So we have at least another probably 7 days or so to go, maybe 6 or 7 days to go at least, and possibly even longer. The way they say you can check it is there's a little spout that's on the keg. I don't have it faced the way where you can see the spout. It's over there, I believe. Actually, there it is. Yep. There's a little spout on the keg, and you can, without opening anything and exposing it to the atmosphere, you can use a spout and pour a little for yourself, and then you sample it. So this is how you know if it's done. If it tastes sweet still, then it's not ready. If it tastes like flat beer, then it's ready. That's what the instructions say. So we will continue waiting on this process. I'm sure that we'll shoot another video before the process is done. Again, I'll have my beer drop beer coming in soon, and we will film that. We'll sample it, and we'll kind of give you an idea of how it tastes. And maybe I'll even have some guests sample with me. I won't be able to have them in the building, unfortunately, because social distancing. Possibly, who knows, if it's my family that's already here, maybe I can. Or I can have them come in and maybe it's just at a reasonable distance. We'll see if that's possible. If not, we can do the Zoom or whatever and have someone try some of these beers. But make sure you check us out for the next video on our YouTube channel here at the Rock City Showcase. And also we'll have podcasts of this available as well on our podcast formats, iHeart, all of them. There's pretty much wherever you get your podcast, you can get the Rock City Showcase podcast. And you can also visit our website at InsideTheMarginsRadio.com, and the Rock City Showcase podcast should be available there too. Until next time, this is Matt. Thanks for checking me out. I appreciate it. Oh, before we go, I want to shout out the Black Beer Facebook page that I joined. They're awesome. So thank you for letting me be a part of that page. And also the Rock City Beer page. That's awesome as well. This way I can share these experiences with the beer drinking community of all cultures. And I appreciate that. All right. We'll see you next time. I'm going to enjoy this beer.